Should you watch OG Dragon Ball? And in my opinion, yes you should, because of these various points that I'm going to go through. Hello, my name is Gase and welcome to the channel. So let us begin. The first major point I would say is villainous human heroes like General Blue and the Red Ribbon Army being the main protagonists, with the androids and monsters being more of sub-villains. So you get a different taste of villain than you usually are used to, especially nowadays with Super and Daima. Very focused on mystical beings and creatures and aliens coming out of nowhere with all these incredibly powerful abilities. But in this story, it is completely more focused and grounded on humans. And yes, in the end, we do get Daimo and Piccolo Jr., and we do get those type of characters. However, at the beginning, it's very much humans versus Goku and a little bit of androids here and there, and some people who you're not sure if they're human or not, but at the end of the day, they are more in line with humans with special abilities, especially in the tournament, in comparison to what happens with Super as well as Daima. The next major point would be a lot of the humans, a lot of the Z fighters in the story have way more to say, and some of them, like I said, are the protagonists, like Tien with the tournament. And again, the fight between Goku and Tien is elite, but you get to see more of the Z fighters getting involved and getting to know Goku and trust him through their adventures to gather the Dragon Balls, as well as fight in tournaments, which is very pivotal in this story, but it's not overdone. And every tournament is meant to mark how far Goku has gotten with his strength, as well as how powerful the world truly is. And it goes back to the entire lesson that Master Roshi, when he dressed up as Jackie Chung, was trying to teach Goku as well as Krillin, that there will always be somebody stronger. And the entire point after that with the next tournament, as well as obviously fighting Piccolo, is to show that you will never know when the next major enemy, when the next major fighter is going to come out, which is a great lesson. The next one obviously is the adventures that Bulma and Goku and the Z fighters get throughout the entire series, and just the different types of villains they meet as well. Like I said, you still have the mystic villain, so you have a villain that can turn people into carrots. You have another villain, Devil Mad, who's literally, I think, the devil, and I don't want to spoil his ability, but again, it goes to push the narrative of who Goku truly is. And every villain really is built to make Goku shine or to show Goku's flaws, and now the other Z fighters help Goku solve the issues and the problems around them. And GT tried to do something similar, and you should check out my Should You Watch GT video as well. You know, I've already posted it, but GT tried to do the same thing with all the villains pushing Goku in different ways, especially Baby and Shenron. So this is where they get the inspiration from. The next one would be, like I said, Piccolo Daima and Piccolo Jr., who are very iconic villains. And this is probably the last time you'll ever see a Namekian villain, probably, because yeah, in Daima you have Neba, but he's not, I don't really think he's that much of a threat. But again, I'm not done with it, and I will be talking about Daima as well. But you know, Neba is kind of the closest thing to another Namekian villain. And then obviously you have Lord Slug in the movies, who a lot of people dislike. I don't dislike him at all. He is a bit generic, but I understand. So these two are the peak of Piccolo, you know, Namekian type of villains. Obviously you have Senior and Junior, and I really do love Piccolo Daimo, but he is the beginning of the villain who's just a villain who's trying to dominate. Whereas Piccolo Jr., you have somebody who goes from a villain into a rival, into a friend. So his whole journey starts with OG Dragon Ball. So if you want to see it in its entirety, you should come and check this out. And their fight is genuinely like, probably top 10 in Dragon Ball. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in the top 10 in Dragon Ball. Their fight is insane. It's so good. The back and forth is incredible. And, you know, Piccolo just shines in this. If you love Piccolo, you should definitely check this out. The next one would be the Goku and Krillin bond, which is really funny at the beginning. And Krillin is a very crass and very, let's say, grown-up type of kid when they meet up. And he's more so like Roshi than he is nowadays like Goku. And you get to see their journey together and how they are proteges of Roshi and the rivalry they have in the beginning beginning as well. Like Goku had a lot of rivals in Dragon Ball, and then eventually Dragon Ball Z, it was one. But yeah, in Dragon Ball, he had quite a few. And then you go to the incredible fights in this. I already talked about this. Like the fights within the tournaments are so good. They're so incredible. Genuinely, you should check out the fights. They're really, really good. The fight between Jackie Chan and Goku is great. There is a bit of a fight between Yamcha and Goku as well. Again, Yamcha's another character. You're probably not going to see much of him in the future of Dragon Ball unless if they do like a spin-off series or a story with him playing baseball, which would be really cool. But he's another character that again gets some pretty cool moments in here. And then obviously characters like Oolong you don't really see anymore. It's so sad, man. Like when you go from this series to like Super and Daima, like you realize how much they've made it the Goku and Vegeta show, especially the Goku show. And sometimes they gotta throw Gohan in there. Like it's so sad. It's so sad because when you watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and the movies of Dragon Ball before the Super movies, so many of the characters are involved, so many of them, and they all matter in some way, and Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z really highlight this, so you should check it out for that as well. And the importance of the Dragon Balls in both Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z is very, very pivotal, and there's only one in Dragon Ball, which makes him really special. Like, I don't mind the Namekian saga introducing the lore of the Namekians and how they can also create Dragon Balls, and that obviously sets off so many more Namekians who can make Dragon Balls. But the speciality, the beauty of the Dragon Balls and how important they are in the beginning, and they start so many conflicts as well. It's kind of sad that later on you just get so many different types of Dragon Balls. It just lessens the specialty of the Dragon Balls themselves. But definitely this is a great series to show truly the beginning, and it makes sense because it's Dragon Balls, the Dragon Balls. But like I said, you don't really see too much of their involvement, or if you do, it's usually the Super Dragon Balls, or you know, the Daima Dragon Balls, or if you've read the manga, Granola Dragon Balls. And it's like, I just don't like that, man. I really don't, because it just feels like, sure, Dende could die now, you know, Dende could die and there could be some Namekian out there who has a different set of Dragon Balls. It's like, it was the inadvertent consequence of just the Namekian saga. I love the I love the Namekian saga. I really do. But this was definitely a consequence of it that has led to what has happened. But anyways, apart from the yap, you should really check out the OG Dragon Ball. Like I said, man, there's so many cool villains I like as well, like General Blue, and obviously a reference to, I'm not sure if it's a reference to Terminator or if Terminator was inspired by this. I'm not sure when in the manga this android character was released. And yeah, it's really cool. Before we get into the more action heavy Z, this was the loving adventure of Goku and his friends and their many battles throughout the Dragon Ball world. So check it out, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it if you don't mind certain things that happen at the beginning, and you know, certain things with Roshi. If you've seen the series, you know what I'm talking about. Because man, if you think Roshi's a bit of a pervert in Z and Super, oh boy. Anyways, so that's all I have to say. And if you want to check out my other video about should you watch Dragon Ball GT, you definitely can. And like I said, these two series are really cool for me. I love them. I watched them as a kid, as a teenager. I really enjoyed them. So you should check them out. Catch you guys later.